The film opens in the kingdom of Edenia. Young Princess Kitana watches history change forever. King Jerrod battles the ruthless Emperor Shao Khan in deadly Mortal Kombat. Jerrod fights hard and nearly wins, but Shao Khan sacrifices his own hand to trap the king. Then, he turns the attack around and crushes Jerrod with his giant hammer. Queen Sindel and the Edenians surrender instantly. Meanwhile, young Kitana stands in fear. Shao Khan claims victory over Edenia. Then, he looks at Kitana and delivers one chilling sentence. He tells her she now belongs to him as his daughter. Years later, Kitana trains beside her friend, bodyguard, Jade. Jade gives her 2 deadly bladed fans. Soon, they meet Emperor Shao Khan and Queen Sindel. But Shao Khan has a dangerous new plan. He orders Shang Tsung to find Shinnok's amulet. The relic can give Shao Khan god-like power. Meanwhile, Raiden gathers Earthrealm's strongest fighters. Sonya, Jax, Cole Young, and Liu Kang prepare for war. However, they know the tournament is coming fast. Now, they must find a new champion before Outworld strikes. Johnny Cage is a former action movie superstar. But now, nobody even watches his movies anymore. Fans avoid him at conventions. His career completely falls apart. Then, Raiden and Sonya suddenly approach him. They take him straight to Outworld. Johnny is shocked by what he sees. Jax, Cole, and Liu Kang unleash powerful arcana abilities. Meanwhile, Johnny has no powers at all. He jokes that he is only incredibly handsome. Soon, Sonya explains the Mortal Kombat tournament. She reveals that fighters actually die there. That changes everything for Johnny. Fear takes over immediately. He refuses to join the tournament. Then, he goes back to Earth. Meanwhile, dark forces begin rising again. The necromancer Quan Chi resurrects Kung Lao. But Kung Lao returns as a deadly revenant servant. Then, Quan Chi revives Kano too. However, Kano is already too corrupted to control. Kano demands a new laser eye. Quan Chi grants his request instantly. In return, Quan Chi takes the stolen amulet from Kano. Now, powerful enemies gather once again. And the fight for Mortal Kombat grows even deadlier. Johnny Cage sits alone in a bar. A fan recognizes him from his old movies. The fan says Johnny deserves a comeback. But Johnny feels washed up and forgotten. Before he orders another drink, everything changes. Johnny is suddenly summoned back to Outworld. The Mortal Kombat tournament begins immediately. Johnny and Sonya fight for Earthrealm's survival. Johnny faces Kitana without knowing her true power. He barely survives her brutal attacks. Still, Johnny keeps fighting through the pain. But exhaustion finally overwhelms him. He collapses before Kitana can finish him. Meanwhile, Sonya battles the corrupted Sindel. Sindel uses deadly screams to counter every attack. Sonya struggles to keep up at first. However, she finds the perfect opening. She blasts through Sindel's back with energy rains. Then she impales Sindel's head onto a spike. The shocking kill changes the entire tournament. Earthrealm ties the score and stays alive. Johnny doubts he belongs with Earthrealm's heroes. Then Raiden tells him to change his perspective. Soon, Kitana suddenly arrives inside the temple. She reveals she has secretly worked against Shao Kahn for Raiden. But everything changes when Shang Tsung attacks. Revenant Kung Lao smashes through the window and slices Raiden's throat with his razor head. Then Shang Tsung steals Raiden's god powers using the amulet. Sonya tries stopping them, but fails. Meanwhile, Shang Tsung returns to Quan Chi with the amulet. In the final twist, Quan Chi uses it to empower Shao Kahn, giving the warlord the unstoppable power he always wanted. Then Cole enters the next tournament round against Shao Kahn. Meanwhile, Jax battles Jade on another arena. Cole fights hard using his body armor powers. But Shao Kahn gains deadly new abilities. Fatal attacks no longer hurt the Emperor. Cole tries everything, but nothing works. Then Shao Kahn slams him to the ground. He crushes Cole's head with his massive hammer. Meanwhile, Jax finally overpowers Jade. However, he spares her life afterward. He does it because Kitana spared Johnny earlier. Soon, the next fight begins. Liu Kang faces his corrupted cousin, Kung Lao. Liu tries saving him from darkness. But Kung Lao wants Liu to join him instead. The battle turns brutal fast. Liu blocks the deadly razor head attacks. Then he drags Kung Lao onto the spinning blade. Kung Lao dies from his own weapon. Even after winning, Liu refuses to give up hope. He promises to save his cousin someday. The champions return to Raiden's temple after the battle. Raiden survives, but he is badly weakened. Meanwhile, the heroes mourn Cole, knowing he never returns. But Shao Kahn keeps preparing for war. He orders Quan Chi to resurrect Bi-Han as Noob Saibot. Needing more fighters, Johnny, Sonya, Liu Kang, and Jax travel to the Takardan lands. There, they meet the brutal warrior leader, Baraka. Liu Kang asks for an alliance. However, Baraka refuses immediately. Then Johnny insults the entire tribe, calling them cowards. Baraka gets furious and challenges Johnny himself. At first, Johnny runs for his life. But soon, he starts fighting back. He dodges Baraka's deadly arm spikes and lands several clean hits. Then Johnny shocks everyone by punching Baraka right in the balls. Instead of getting angry, Baraka bursts into laughter. He calls it the greatest fight he has ever seen. Because of Johnny's crazy bravery, Baraka agrees to join them. He even asks Johnny to teach him his fighting moves. Finally, Baraka reveals a secret entrance beneath Shao Kahn's palace. Now, the heroes finally have a way inside enemy territory. Kitana is captured after betraying Shao Kahn. Jade drags her before the Emperor. Then, Shao Kahn reveals Sindel has returned through Quan Chi's dark magic. He threatens to destroy Sindel forever unless Kitana talks. But Kitana refuses to reveal the hero's location. As punishment, Shao Kahn chains her in the town square. Meanwhile, the Earthrealm warriors sneak inside the fortress. Liu Kang rushes for the amulet, but Shao Kahn catches him instantly. Liu attacks using powerful fire blasts. At the same time, Jax tries breaking the amulet's cage. However, Shao Kahn overwhelms everyone. He brutally rips off both of Jax's arms, then impales him through the throat as Sonya watches in horror. Meanwhile, Johnny Cage runs into Kano. But the biggest twist comes next. Kano admits he betrayed Outworld because he misses Earth's pleasures and old lifestyle. Kano and Johnny rush to Raiden with shocking news. Bi-Han is heading to Netherrealm with the amulet. Raiden uses his last power to send them there. In the underworld, they meet Scorpion. He lives inside a fake version of his old home. At first, Scorpion refuses to help them fight. But everything changes when he hears Bi-Han returned. Meanwhile, Shang Tsung attacks defenseless Raiden. At the same time, Bi-Han transforms into Noob Saibot. Scorpion and Kano battle the deadly wraith together. However, Johnny still lacks the strength to stop him. Elsewhere, Sonya and Liu Kang search for Kitana. But Shao Kahn suddenly appears in the town square. A brutal fight begins immediately. Liu Kang gets impaled during the battle. Then he vanishes into flames, promising to return stronger. Soon, Sonya frees Kitana using her energy rings. Kitana finally turns against Shao Kahn. She chooses Earthrealm over her own emperor. Now, new alliances form as the final battle approaches. Jade joins Johnny, Kano, and Scorpion against Bi-Han. They combine their powers against the amulet. But the artifact refuses to break. Meanwhile, Bi-Han keeps overpowering everyone. Johnny finally accepts his destiny as the chosen fighter. Then he proudly declares, Johnny Badward Cage. That confidence unlocks his arcana powers instantly. Johnny lands one massive kick on the amulet. The artifact shatters and Bi-Han falls into lava. With the amulet destroyed, Raiden awakens again. He blasts Shang Tsung out of the temple. Meanwhile, Shao Kahn loses all his power. Kitana attacks the helpless emperor without mercy. She tears off his helmet, revealing his hideous face. Then she activates her razor fans for the fatal blow. Shao Kahn's head is sliced into pieces instantly. With the tyrant finally dead, peace returns to Edenia. Kitana becomes queen and frees her people forever. After the brutal battle, peace finally returns. Scorpion heads back to Netherrealm alone. Meanwhile, Johnny Cage brags to Baraka and the Takardan children. Of course, he exaggerates every part. But then, Kano captures Quan Chi alive. He plans to use him to revive the fallen heroes. Soon, the new team finally stands together. Raiden, Johnny, Sonya, Kitana, Jade, Kano, and Baraka prepare for the future. Then, the heroes walk forward like unstoppable legends. Finally, Raiden summons a massive lightning bolt, proving Earthrealm's champions are stronger than ever. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for daily recap.